Hi, I'm James, and I'm a transgendered male, or as I like better, a two-spirited male. And that pretty just much means that I'm a guy with a girl's body, pretty much. And yeah. This is my video on like 1 month and 2 days after starting T. Guess I'll just start out about how I came out to everyone and when, I guess. I came out to my girlfriend on the last 2 months of high school. So it was like April, I think. So a year and a bit ago, I guess. And she wasn't my girlfriend at the time, and she was very understanding. It was really nice, actually, to have that comfort. I was still not comfortable with it myself. It's kind of like, is this really what I want? Is that really who I am? And the idea grew on me, and the more I thought about it, the more I liked the idea of, you know, being who I want to be. Then I came up to my stepmom because I had a whole bunch of papers that I had, and I needed them to be explained to me a little bit, and because she's the only doctor-ish person I know that I'm close to, because she worked at a hospital forever, I went to her, and so I had to come out and tell her this is what's happening, this is what I want to do, and she was very good about it. She has probably the most open mind I've ever seen in somebody. And then she told my dad, which was weird because my dad, I'm his first daughter now. He's losing his first daughter. Yeah, it was just really awkward, and I felt kind of bad about it, but it all worked out. He's a very understanding guy. And then I guess my entire family found out after that, which was alright. They were really good about it. My stepbrother, the older of my two stepbrothers, is great about it. He's a year younger than me, and in his phone, under contacts, I have my female name and then /James, and once in a while he will use James, and it's great. It's really, really nice to hear. Definitely, because with school I use James, and in work I use James. Mostly just with my family that doesn't. Then in October or November, I'm pretty sure it was November, I told my grandparents, and it was over the phone because I don't live with them anymore. So it was over the phone, and they were understanding, but at the same time like, what? What did you just say? You wanna be a guy? It was just, it was weird. I was very nervous about telling them. I didn't like telling them, but they raised me, so they needed to know. And they said no matter what, it's my decision. If it makes me happy, then they're happy. I mean, they didn't know about me and Erin like in the summertime when we were dating, but she spent a month with me at our house, so she they figured out, oh, are you guys together? I didn't want to tell them yes, but I don't really lie to my grandparents, and they were like, well, we're so happy for you, we've never seen you happier, so with that out of the way, okay. But now that I don't feel comfortable in the girl's body. They were like, oh, okay, well, if you're happy, we're happy for you. And then by Christmas time, we were going back up there for a week or so for holidays, and they were almost excited. They were saying, wow, I don't know how we didn't notice this before, how you were so not girly, no makeup, you didn't like your hair done, stuff like that. I had really long hair, my hair went down to my butt, which is crazy to believe. When I see a picture of me in grade 12, it's like, wow, my hair's so long. You look at it now, it's not so. It needs to be cut again, actually. But they were saying how, after thinking about it, they believe it more, they can see where I'm coming from, why I want it more, and whatnot. I have had quite a bit of struggle so far as to where to go for it. I mean, my support systems are awesome. They're absolutely awesome. And except for a few people, I've lost a few people in my life, but I haven't. I just got a niece a year ago, and I haven't seen her since she was 3 months old because of this, which kind of bums me out. But if it has to be like that, then it has to be like that. They've invited me to stuff. I was invited to her first birthday party, but there's one person that I know would be there that I didn't want to see. I never want to see. It was just, it wasn't good. So, I mean, I feel bad for not being there for my niece in her little life, but I have my own thing going. Um, let's see. Well, like, I have really good support systems. I've gone to a meeting in Vancouver, which for me was pretty far away, and I mean, it was great. I hadn't had any changes yet. My hair was still, it was a lot shorter. It was down to here now at this point, but it was still pretty long. I was still in the, how should I do this kind of thing. It was only a few people that knew at this point when I went to this meeting, but they made me feel welcome. They made me see the good and the bad of it. I met a transgendered female there, and she was really pretty, actually. She had her chest surgery, and she had like this ghetto booty thing happening. like it was like it was kind of cool to see the progression. And there was this man there. Not in a million years would I have guessed he was born female. Like, it was wow. Like, if you saw him walking down the street, you would have been like, yeah, I do him type thing. And he looked and sounded like a guy. And that gave me even more confidence to do it because I wasn't so sure about the outcomes of it. So after I saw that, I was like, wow, this is great. This is what could happen to me in the future. And he gave me his email and all that stuff. I tried emailing him because he does things to do with transgender people, but the email never worked. Like, my Hotmail sucks, so it just wouldn't send. But I lost his email, so I can never actually try again, which kind of bums me out. Um, so with that aside, I decided to go do it myself. I went to a couple doctor appointments. with my family doctor, and it wasn't pleasant. Kind of a jerk about it, and he he just he blamed Erin for a lot of it. It's like, well, you just want your parts to match her parts, stuff like that. You don't actually want to do this. You're just doing it because she's making you, and that really hurt. And that's one of the reasons I don't want to see one person ever again, because she did that. I mean, I can see where she's coming from in a way, but in another, the way she did it was very inappropriate and in front of people that had nothing to do with it. So, anyway, um, sorry, the Olympics are on. It's the swimming. I like the swimming. Um, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember where I was. Oh yeah, the doctor. He was just an asshole about it, pretty much. And I went back to him a few weeks later because I had to sign some papers. He had like agreed to send me to a counselor because what I read that you have to do all that stuff to help you through it. So I went to a counselor in May, and she made me feel really bad about myself. She also blamed Erin. Um, she blamed. She said that I want to do this because I feel self-conscious because I didn't have a real family, and I have a very split family. But I was never around for any of the BS that was happening with my family at the time. I was with my grandparents, and they gave me a loving home and all that, so I don't blame my home at all. I mean, my grandparents have always been number one to me, and so she was pretty bad about it. She kept trying to bring up the one person that I never want to see again, because unfortunately she is bio- bi- biologically the other half that made me, unfortunately. So she wanted to keep talking about that, and I didn't. So she wanted me to make another appointment pretty much just to talk about that. And she just made me feel horrible about myself. She, like, she didn't listen to me at all. She would say, have you gone to any support groups? And I'd say, I have. She says, have you read up on it, didn't research, blah, blah, blah. And I told her I had. And she's like, well, I don't know anyone in this country that would do chest surgery or do any of this stuff. And I told her, by the way, I live in Canada, and I told her, well, there's like a surgeon in Vancouver that would do it, and there's like the medical does it, and she kept saying, well, there's no one in Canada that would do it, blah blah blah, and I just kept telling her that there was. Ooh, someone's gonna break the world record. Very close to breaking the world record. Oh, and she didn't. Oh wait, yeah, she did. U.S. just got a world record. Um, that's cool. Anyway, back to this. Um, sorry. Um, Oh yeah, and she pretty much just kept saying that I need to do all this stuff when I already have. And she's like, you have to tell your family. Well, I have. And she's like, well, you have to do all this research. You have to go to more meetings. Figure out what you really want. You will regret it if you do this. I mean, you're so young. You're 18. You have your whole life. Wait 10, 15 years before you make any decision. Well, that wasn't something that made me very happy at all. It made me quite upset, and I was pretty ticked off about it. So my doctor's like right across the street. My family doctor right across the street from where her office is. So I went over. Sorry, I went over to him, and he pretty much said that Erin's gonna leave me after this because she loves me as a girl and not as a mutilated person. If I get all these surgeries and stuff, he said I would be a mutilated person. I wouldn't be male, I wouldn't be female, I'd be just a person. And that would be, and that really, really upset me. So, I didn't want to go back to them, and I haven't seen them since. I had an appointment for each of them, like, and I just never showed up. I was extremely upset over what they said, and so I never went back. Instead, there's someone I have on DeviantArt that I know's has gone through this for the last year with the shots and all that stuff. It's been a little bit over a year now, but I asked him if he can give me any advice where he can recommend, because he lives in Vancouver, and now I'm in closer to Vancouver. It's still a good hour transit ride, but with that aside, um, he told me to go to this one clinic that specializes in the transgendered community. So I went to this place. I phoned and I went to this place. They have a youth drop-in clinic. So I went there with Erin, and she didn't come in with me, but I talked to this male doctor, and it was really funny because he's walking behind me, and I go to sit down in the room, like I'm crossing the little doctor's office room, and he's like, so should I call you this, because he wasn't sure what I preferred, because I don't know, my name can be shortened and whatnot, and nicknames and all that stuff. And I'm like, James. He's like, wow, I was way off. I'm like, yeah, you were. And he he was, I'm pretty sure he was gay, and I don't have anything against gay people. It would, look at me. But the, he was really fun to talk to, actually. Very, very fun to talk to. And he made me feel welcomed. He kept emphasizing that they deal with this every day. They, like, I told him that I talked to my family, that I've been to support groups, and he's like, wow, you are ahead of the pack. He kept saying that he was surprised how far I've come by myself with no guidance. He seemed really surprised. Then he told me he was going on vacations, and he gave me another doctor, and I talked to the doctor that day with him in the room, and she also emphasized that they deal with this stuff every day. It's no huge whoop if I'm who I am. By the second visit, with her, I brought in Aaron, and like the first visit, they let me bring home a sheet pretty much saying what tea will do to me, the side effects, the good of it, and whatnot. And I took it home and I read it, and there's some things I wasn't too happy about, and things that can't be reversed. I mean, once my voice drops, the chances of it ever going back to how it was is slim to none, pretty much. Um, I mean, the risks range from like heart disease and liver disease and all this stuff. I mean, cancer can go up a little bit, diabetes. I mean, I have heart problems and diabetes in my family, so that, oh, and stroke. Stroke was in there, but there's stroke in my family too, so I mean, those don't really scare me because that's already something I've known all my life that I could get, so that didn't really scare me. I mean, I'm a healthy person to start with, so um, and then the second appointment, I signed all those papers, pretty much saying I understand these. I think the thing that upset me the most with that was the chance of me going bald. I like my hair, I love my hair. Sometimes I actually miss doing things with it, although I never actually did when it was long, but now that I can gel it and do cool things with it for the Gay Pride Parade next week, I was thinking of like shaving and doing like designs, and I don't know, but it seems fun. Um, Let me see. Anyway, the second appointment, we pretty much just signed all these papers, and then the third appointment, we made sure I was okay with all the side effects, if I had any real concerns, anything that was eating at me, and then she gave me a paper to like get my blood tested to see what my estrogen and testosterone levels were, check my liver and all that stuff. And then the fourth appointment, I got my first shot of tea. I'm terrified of needles. Can't emphasize that enough. And it hurt. Yeah, she's asleep. No, she's pretty sick. She feels crappy. Oh, I'm sorry. Darren's mom. Darren's sick. Um, and then, uh, it didn't hurt. I wasn't expecting what I felt. I mean, I watched her do the, like, set up the needle. She talked me through it a little bit. Erin was there. I squeezed her hand like I was dying. But, yeah, I had the option of getting the needle in my butt, which isn't happening. Nope. Unless it's life or death, it is not happening. Um, Sorry, my brother just said hi to me. Um, so, it was just a weird feeling. I got it in my leg. Just putting it out there, got it in my leg. Um, and then, like, it didn't hurt after. It felt weird, but it didn't hurt. But I had to walk all the way back to the SkyTrain station, and then like, get on this train, and go downstairs, and get on a bus, and a whole bunch of weird stuff. But in the end, it was kind of like, okay. Even the next day, it didn't hurt. And honestly, other than the physical hole you can see in my leg, I would never have known. And then, like, the next week, I went back to the clinic, and like the dose went up a little bit, and like we because I didn't want to spend so much money going to Vancouver every week when I can just do it myself. I asked if I can do it at home, so she taught me how to do it at home. And, well, she taught Aaron how to do it, because there's no way in hell I'm ever going to stick my leg. Well, obviously I will have to, but I don't like needles. So, anyway, when she put the needle in, it, it, it kind of felt like a fork going through jello. It obviously did not hurt. It was just a really strange feeling, and almost an addicting feeling, because it's just something you never feel before. Like, it's just weird. But that didn't hurt at all. And then the week after, Aaron did the first shot, like the first at-home shot, and my stepmom was there just to make sure we were doing everything properly and whatnot, because she knows. So we made her do it, and she put the needle in my hand. My stepmom wanted me to do it, and I sat there. She's like, okay, on 3, you will do it. 1, 2, 3. And my hand was just on my leg, and the needle in my hand, and she's like, you forgot, go. I'm like, I know, I can't do it, so I gave the needle to Aaron. She did it. It was fine. Next week, it really hurt. I think Aaron missed. And then, um, last week, I do it on Wednesdays, my shot. So last Wednesday, my 5th shot, I had the biggest anxiety over doing it. Like, I set up the needle myself so I can get myself acquainted with the needle, so I'm not so scared of it. But I was very scared about getting it this time. And I think it's because it hurt so much the week before. But yeah, I think the biggest change since I've started tea is my arms. They've gotten bigger. And I know showing my arm a little bit bigger. Not really. But obviously you guys don't really know what I looked like to start with to compare, but my friend that I haven't seen in 2 weeks, I saw on Friday, and she's like, wow, you look like you've really bulked up. I'm like, thanks. But that was pretty much that. And yeah, I think the biggest thing I've noticed is I feel happier, more confident in myself. I mean, now that I have my binder on, my chest binder, which I'm wearing right now, this is it. Just looks like a normal tank top shirt thingy. I mean, looks no different. Ever since I've gotten it, I feel a lot more confident with myself because it looks like I don't have boobs, which is great. And, well, my voice has cracked twice, and right now, to me, it sounds a little bit deeper than it did, not by much. I mean, it shouldn't be changing yet. Got a couple more weeks to go, like between 1 and 4 more weeks before it actually starts doing anything, but everyone's different. Who knows if it is changing or not. People who have known me all my life will probably be like, oh, yeah, it is, but yeah. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. I've talked for a half hour now. It's weird because I couldn't start yesterday. Anyway, talk to you guys in a month, August 27th. Bye.